Prehistory covers the time from the Old Stone Age to the very beginnings of the Bronze Age. The Bronze Age included techniques for smelting copper and tin from naturally occurring outcroppings of copper ores and then smelting those ores to cast bronze. The Iron Age was the stage in the development of any people in which tools and weapons, whose main ingredient was iron, were prominent. Classical antiquity coincides roughly with the traditional date of the founding of Rome in 753 BC and the beginning of the history of Rome. The 16th century is regarded by historians as the century in which the rise of the West occurred. In Europe, the Protestant Reformation gave a major blow to the authority of the papacy and the Roman Catholic Church. By the end of the 17th century, Europeans were also aware of logarithms, electricity, the telescope and microscope, calculus, universal gravitation, Newton's laws of motion, air pressure, and calculating machines due to the work of the first scientists of the scientific revolution. In the 18th century, Great Britain became a major power worldwide with the defeat of France in the Americas. However, Britain lost much of its North American colonies after the American Revolution. The Industrial Revolution started in Britain around 1770s with the production of the improved steam engine. The 19th century was a period in history marked by the collapse of the Spanish First and Second French, Chinese, Holy Roman, and Mughal empires. This paved the way for the growing influence of the British Empire, Russian Empire, German Empire, the United States, and the Empire of Japan, spurring military conflicts but also advances in science and exploration. World War I was a global war centered in Europe that began on the 28th of July 1914 and lasted until the 11th of November 1918. It involved all the world's great powers, which were assembled in two opposing alliances, the Allies and the Central Powers. More than 9 million combatants were killed. World War II was underway by 1939 and ended in 1945. It involved the vast majority of the world's nations, including all of the great powers, eventually forming two opposing military alliances, the Allies and the Axis. It was the most widespread war in history, with more than 100 million people serving in military units, marked by mass deaths of civilians, including the Holocaust and the only use of nuclear weapons in warfare. It resulted in 50 million to over 75 million fatalities. These deaths make World War II by far the deadliest conflict in human history.